Good morning. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. And welcome to day 6 of the 30-day American Accent Challenge, where we give you a live video every day for 30 days to help you improve your American accent. If you're just joining us for the first time, you can see videos days 1 through 5 on our playlist and also on my website, speechmodification.com. There is a video for each day on the website, as well as practice materials for the things I've talked about having you try to do. So go ahead and get caught up on those if you like. Explore, pick and choose. Yesterday we talked about keeping it simple and making a small goal and actually working towards that goal. And that's the way you're really going to see progress. Unless you have a lot of time and you can really be working on this a lot, you want to set a small intention and work towards that. But today, that was yesterday's. Today we're going to talk about an important topic for American accent training for people from all different language backgrounds, and that is how to say the American R sound. So pronunciation of R is something that can be quite challenging for many people, and this is primarily because the American R is different than most other languages how they say R. There are a few languages that use the same type of R as American R. But for most languages, if they have an R sound, the R sound is made in the front of the mouth. So you might hear your R might sound like a R, might be rolled. I'm going to come a little closer. When I say R, R, my tongue is going up rapidly and touching behind my teeth. R. Now, even if you're not rolling your R in your native language, you might have that front R. It might sound a little bit more like da, ra, da, ra. Might be a short tap up. That's called a flapped R. It's actually very similar to a flap T that we use in other places in American English. So the main issue for most people is when they try to make the American R, they're trying to use the front of their tongue. And this really doesn't work. You can get an R that sounds maybe a little closer to an American R, but you're really going to struggle if you're using the front of your tongue. So what we need to do is be able to feel and learn how to pull the tongue back to make the American R. And so this picture you can see, the back of my tongue is pulled back and it's kind of bunched up and tight. Now there's two different types of R's, the retroflex R where the tongue is curled in the front and the back R that's bunched and the tongue is down. You can find details about these two R's on my American R playlist. I'm going to teach the bunched back R today. Most people can do this fairly easily, and some people, because of the way their anatomy is or the way their tongue is, they find the retroflex R easier. If that's the case for you, go to my retroflex R video and check that out. I personally typically use the bunched R. So what we're going to talk about is how can I feel where my tongue is when I'm making this R sound. It's not something that people think about that much when they're trying to speak. So we'll come back to this, but what I suggest is that you get oriented to where your tongue is in your mouth by saying a few other sounds first. So we're going to say the sound that the letter G makes, like in go. So try that sound, g, g. And now the sound that letter C or K makes, k, k, k. All right, the reason I'm having you make these sounds is that they're made with the tongue back in the mouth. And I have to lift up my tongue and press it against the insides of my back teeth. And that's really important to know because that's where our tongue goes when we make the R sound. We have to brace against the insides of our back teeth and pull that tongue back. So one way to get to the R sound is to start with the K sound or the G sound and work our way there. We're going to try saying a G sound and then we're going to keep the sound going. We're not really thinking about an R yet, we're just thinking about if could I hold a G? Now I can't because G is the stop sound, g, g comes because the air stops and is released. But if I held that sound, g, g, okay, that sounds really weird, right? But I'm holding my tongue up and I'm still bracing it against those teeth. Now, the difference, the other thing we need to know about the back R is it's back, it's braced against those teeth, and the tongue is very tight. I have to bunch it up and hold it tightly to get that sound. So I'm going to say my G, and then I'm going to have a tight tongue that stays back there. Let's try that together. Grr, grr. So I'm going to come in a little closer and open my mouth, and maybe you'll be able to see it a little better. Grr, grr. Okay, again, that sounds a little weird, but my tongue is back, it's bunched, and it's braced against my teeth. So you can use a mirror, you can feel, you put your finger in your mouth, feel where your tongue is. Basically, what you want to start to be able to feel is noticing my tongue is back versus my tongue is front. The next step then is to try to build the R out of this back tongue. And for some people, you have to kind of fool your brain. So if you go right into saying words with R, your brain is going to say tongue's back, and your mouth is going to do it the old way. So I often find with clients, I'll model this, I'll say a word, and they'll be back here with the the back R, and then red. Their tongue will go forward because the habit is so strong, and that's what their brain says. No, I've got this is how we do it. So we're going to start by saying some words that have a G sound and then our new R. So let's try, first we'll try grr, grr. Okay, so that's just like GR by itself. Now try great. Did your tongue go forward? Did you say great? Or did your tongue stay back? Great. Go slowly through the G and R and really feel that tongue is back. And don't worry so much at this stage how your R sounds. More worry about getting it in that back position. Great. Let's try grow. Let's try greed. Try grip. Okay, so yes, maybe with some working we can get those GR words going, we can get a new R. The reason we're starting there is that once we kind of feel solid, I can hold my tongue back, keep it back for that GR sound, I can start to use that to shape just an R by itself. So now we're going to say the word great, and then we're going to say it again without the G. I don't want you to think about R, I just want you to think about having your tongue back and fool your brain into keeping the tongue back for the R. Ready to try? Let's go. Great, rate. So even my R didn't sound that great when I said the word rate. I was really just focusing on that word great with my back tongue. Let's try gray, ray. Grow, row. Grip, rip. Okay, so this exercise is solely to feel. I can pull my tongue back, I can make the R a new way. As you work through the videos in the playlist, work through the practice, you'll refine that R, it'll start to sound more like the American R and sound better. You can record yourself during this process. The most important thing is not really how it sounds at this stage, but that you feel you're pulling your tongue back. You're not letting it slide forward. You don't want great, rate. That doesn't help. That's just our old habit kicking in. So next thing to do is once you have established that you have an R that's a back R, it's more like the American R, you're going to practice on some common words. I'll give you a few right now to practice. You can also go to my website, speechmodification.com, and see the list, hear recordings, use those for practice. So I recommend doing that. Some common words used very frequently in English that start with R are the following. Try these. Write, read, remember, really, rest, ready, run. Okay, there's a few more than that. The idea is going to be you're going to try to say those as many times as possible. Just practice for a short time. Doesn't have to sit down for a long time. Start to try to get a new motor habit and really be able to feel. It'll become more and more easy to be able to pull your tongue back for those. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to try, once that R is pretty solid in those words, you're going to try some repeated phrase practice. So you're going to pick a word like maybe really. You're going to try coming up with as many phrases as you can that begin with really. Really good, really smart, really easy, really fun. The idea there is I'm getting a lot of practice on my R. I'm also having to think of what to say next, and that's more like regular speech where I might find at this stage, as I'm thinking and trying to think of what to say, I might accidentally go back into really with my tongue forward, and I can try to notice that, catch it, go back to the really back tongue. Then I also suggest choosing a word that starts with R as a target word, and that would be a word that you're trying to notice when you say it. You're trying to notice when other people say it, and check yourself. Did I say it with a front R or a back R? And some good words to use for a target word might be really, or the word right, since we say those a lot just conversationally, and you'll have a lot of opportunities to notice, did I use a front R or my new back American R? All right, so after you've practiced for a while and you're starting to feel like you've got an American R that's back, then why don't we go back to day 1 of the challenge? And on day 1, I had you record yourself on this sentence here, which was, it's the first day of the 30-day accent challenge, and I sound really great. All right, so let's notice some R's in this sentence. First of all, we have really. We've been practicing on that, so maybe that's going to sound better this time. We have great. That's a good one. We've been starting with great, great. And then we have some R's, 30 and first, that are later in the word. And we'll have another lesson where we work on R's that aren't at the start of the word, because sometimes we have a different accent error pattern on those R's. So what I want you to do after you've practiced for a while is come back to this sentence. I want you to warm up a little, say really great, 30 day, first day, get those R's ready, and then record yourself again. It's the first day of the 30-day accent challenge, and I sound really great. Now compare that recording to your first day. And which one sounds better? Have you made an improvement on your American R? Do you still need to work on it and practice it more? Yes, probably, but already with the steps we've taken for intonation, pronunciation, and now American R, you should be seeing some improvement from your baseline first day recording to now. As always, if you would like to go and get some more in-depth practice materials for American R, you can find those on speechmodification.com. Just go to free resources and free online practice, and you'll find them on today's Day 6 American Accent Challenge. You can also search American R and you'll find lots of different resources on the website and also on my channel page in the playlist. So some of the techniques we did today might be useful for you. You might find some of my other techniques for American R more helpful. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel. Then you'll get notified when we're live and when we have an accent challenge or when I upload a new video for you. And as always, please make comments and ask questions on the videos, and then I will answer them for you. Make you a video to answer your question to help you out with the thing you need for American accent training. So good job. You've made it to day 6 of the 30-day accent challenge. You're very welcome. Summer, nice to see you. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 7. And remember, if you want to sound American, you can do it. Speechmodification.com. Christine Dunbar signing off for today. I'll see you guys